Hello children, are you ready for the next folk tale? And by the way, I was happy to see that some of you have commented and it was lovely to read your comments. And some of you have rightly guessed how the porcupine won the race. But I would not say that the other answers are wrong because it's a story. So you're free to use your own imagination and creativity. In that story, the porcupine had spread all his friends out in a line till the end point. So there was always one porcupine which was ahead of the elephant. And the king porcupine did not even run the race. He was at the end point at first itself. And that's how he tricked the elephant and won the race. And some of you have rightly guessed it. Great. So today can we move to the next folk tale? And today's folk tale is from Meghalaya. Meghalaya means abode of clouds or home of clouds. Megha means clouds and Alaya means home, and that's how we got the name Meghalaya. Mawson Drum, which is in Meghalaya, receives the heaviest rainfall in the world. When you enter the state, you will be taken aback by the mountain mists, rich greenery and clear waterfalls. Primarily the population is tribal. The two important tribes are Jaintia and Khasi. Shillong is the capital of Meghalaya, and Meghalaya is famous for the living root bridges. These are bridges which are connected by linking the roots of the trees, and that's why they are called as living root bridges. The forefathers of the Khasi tribes are the great architects of these living root bridges. And the tribal people, they lived with the nature, and during the process they created stories questioning and reasoning about the things that happened in the nature. Here is a story created by the tribes of Meghalaya. Days long past, there lived a couple in a small village. Children, as I am telling you, start imagining about the place. That was a small village, and behind the village there were big mountain ranges with clear waterfalls flowing from them. And near the village there was a deep, dense forest with tall trees, creepers and climbers. The couple who lived in the village had a daughter called Kanam. Kanam was a lovely girl and she had a voice as sweet as sugarcane. She loved to sing. Kanam's mother was very protective about Kanam. She would always tell her, "My dear child, don't go out of the house unnecessarily. Just be inside the house because we are next to a deep, dense forest and we can be attacked by any animal anytime." But Kanam's father wanted Kanam to be brave. He wanted Kanam to go out and explore the world. Kanam was just caught between the two. One day, it was a bright day and Kanam just was looking out of the window and she was enjoying the beautiful nature. As she was looking out of the window, she sang a Khasi tribal song in the language Khasi. song describes about the beauty of Meghalaya. As she was singing this song, the big mountain ranges and the clouds kissing the mountains and the deep dense forest lured Kanam to get out of her house. Telling her mother that she would get water from the nearby well, Kanam went out of her house and she enjoyed the beauty of the nature and she walked a long distance away from her village. And do you know where she entered? She entered the deep, dense forest, and for the first time, she was experiencing the beauty of the forest. And for the first time, she listened to the sounds of the forest. Kee, 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 the chirping of the birds, and kee, 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 the screeching of the monkeys. She was experiencing and enjoying the beautiful forest, and she just got mesmerized with the beauty. Suddenly, she heard some footsteps and she realized that something was behind her. So she just turned back to see what it was. Hush! A big sound came and Kanam just vanished. She was not to be seen anywhere. Where did she go, children? No idea. And the sun was about to set. And Kanam's parents started searching for Kanam. They started searching for her in the village and in all the other neighboring places. But Kanam was not there. And they searched for her for days. But there was no Kanam at all. There was no sign of Kanam at all. Do you know where she was? She was in a den. She was captured by Yukla, a ferocious tiger, and the tiger was planning to eat Kanam. He was planning for a meal. And the tiger fed Kanam every day to fatten her up. Poor Kanam, what could she do? She also planned to escape from the tiger, but how could she escape from a ferocious tiger? And one day, the tiger was murmuring to himself, I think now Kanam is ready to eat. She looks fat and plump. I'm going to call all my friends and I'm going to have a feast of Kanam. And these horrid words were heard by the regular visitor to the den, and it was the little mouse. The mouse heard these horrid words and he saw Kanam sitting at a distance weeping bitterly. He really felt sad, very sad for her, and he really wanted to help Kanam somehow. So he just waited for the tiger to doze off. The moment the tiger went to sleep, the little mouse quickly went to Kanam and squeaked into her ears. My dear child, don't worry, don't cry. I will take you to a great toad who will be able to help you. But we have to leave this place before the tiger gets up. So quickly come with me, said the mouse. And Kanam and the mouse went to the lake where the great toad lived. The toad's name was Yuhindro, and he had a lot of magical powers. A toad is something similar to a frog. So Kanam and the mouse went to the toad and they narrated her sad story. Yuhindro thought for a moment and said, Okay, I think I'll be able to help you. But I need to change Kanam into a toad using my magical powers. Only then the tiger will not be able to find her. But Kanam had no other choice. She had to accept it. So using his magical powers, Yuhindro changed Kanam into a toad. Initially Kanam was happy. But as the days passed, she realized that the toad did not help out of kindness, but he wanted Kanam to be his slave. The toad started treating her badly and he was treating her like a slave. And this came to the knowledge of the mouse. The mouse felt very bad. Oh no, only it is because of me Kaanam has come here. Oh, I should help her somehow. I have to really free Kaanam from this place. So saying this, the mouse again went to Kaanam that night and squeaked into her ears. My dear Kaanam, you can't be in this place. The toad is not going to help you to get out of this place and you will be a slave forever. You have to just run away from this place. So come with me quickly. I will take you to a place. Said the mouse, and the mouse took Kaanam to the middle of the forest where the rare orchids bloomed. The mouse showed Kaanam a tall tree. And the mouse told Kaanam, Kaanam, just climb this tree and go to the top of the tree. Kaanam climbed up and she went to the top. And the mouse chanted some special words to the tree. Go tall and fly to the sky, to the sky. Grow tall and fly to the sky, to the sky. Grow tall and fly to the sky, to the sky. These were some magical words. And it was a magical tree. The tree started to grow tall and taller and taller as the mouse was chanting these words. And the mouse now began to chant these words very fast. Okay? Grow tall and fly to the sky, to the sky. Grow tall and fly to the sky, to the sky. Grow tall and fly to the sky, to the sky. As he was chanting it, as he was telling it faster and faster and faster, the tree also began to grow taller and taller and taller and taller and taller and taller till it reached the sky. And Kaanam was in the sky. She stepped into the sky and she was so thrilled and excited, right? For the first time, if you just reached the sky, how would you feel, children? Excited, right? So the same way, Kaanam was just so excited to see the whole thing blue in color. She walked quite a distance. But as the time passed, she felt lonely in the sky. There was nobody there. And she didn't know where to go and seek help. At the time, she remembered the stories narrated by her father about the greatness of the sun goddess. The people of Kasi, they worshipped the sun goddess. So, she remembered those stories, and she also remembered the stories like how the sun goddess helped the people of Kasi. So, she went to the sun goddess and told her story. The sun goddess took pity, and sun goddess felt sorry for the girl and said, "Don't worry, my child. You can just stay on my land." And Kaanam felt safe for the first time. She felt really relieved to be away from the toad and to be away from the tiger. But she had to find her parents, right? So she wanted to find her parents, and before that, she had to get rid of the toad skin. She was still a toad, right? So she wanted to get rid of the toad skin. So she shed the skin and she also burnt it. She was very angry at the toad. So she burnt the toad skin, and the moment she burnt the toad skin, Yohindro the toad came to know about it because he was the one who created the skin, right? So the moment Kaanam burnt the toad skin, Yohindro came to know about it. He also came to know where Kaanam was and who was helping her. After realizing that the sun goddess was helping Kaanam, Yohindro got really angry and he raced up to the sky to attack the sun goddess, and he started blocking her. Okay, what will happen if the sun is blocked? What will happen on earth? It will become dark, right? So, when Yohindro started blocking the sun, the people in the Kasi tribes in Meghalaya, in the village, they just saw that it had become dark. So they came out of their houses and they looked up and they saw that the sun was blocked by the toad. They got angry because it was their god, right? Getting angry that their god was being attacked by somebody, they started beating the drums loudly. They had some big drums with them and they started beating it loudly, and hearing the loud noises, the toad really got angry and he raced back to his forest. And the sun goddess was happy, and so were the people of Kasi. They were very happy that they were able to protect their sun goddess from the toad. And Kanam was so excited to see all these things, and she saw the people of her village down from the sky. She looked closer and she spotted her parents. What a relief she had. So sun goddess helped Kanam to go back to her parents, and Kanam lived happily with her parents thereafter. Did you like the story, children? Even today, when the sun is blocked by something, the people of Kasi, they start beating their drums as a belief. And do you know that the sun is blocked sometimes even today? Have you heard about it? Or have you seen it? So what is the name of that, children? And why is it caused? Okay, I want you to find out and please write in the comment box. Okay, even today I want you to find out whether the sun is blocked sometimes. What is the name of that? What is the name of that event, and why is that happen? So next week I will meet you at another folk tale.